Hey, what up, guys? Just gonna do a brief review of the game that we just watched now. The Stormers versus Cardiff, which was in DHL Cape Town Stadium. So, yeah, starting off the game, I didn't really expect much, and it's came to pass that the game was very, very scrappy. And that is because the Stormers made 10 changes from the team that beat the Dragons last week, and Cardiff didn't really have a good game up in Pretoria against the Bulls last week, and they got beaten badly. So just going to go through a few pointers that picked up from the game. Like I say, it was pretty much scrappy, especially in the second half. I think the attitude of Stormers in terms of just trying to get through the game and looking forward to the quarterfinals and checking who they're going to play between the Edinburgh and the Sharks. So yeah, I think that also led to the scrappy nature of the game. The scrums were very shaky from the Stormers, and I think at some stage the referee actually contributed to that, as well as what the Stormers were doing. They were I don't know, Joseph Dweber and the rest of the guys, they weren't really sure how to approach the scrums. I think maybe they had a game plan, and the referee was, judging the scrums very, I might say, from my side. But nonetheless, yeah, maybe there's something that they need to look into. I know that, the front row that started, won't be the same that starts in the quarterfinals. So maybe with the changes, it affected them, but we'll see, because with shaky scrums, it's going to be a really difficult game to play if you're playing against the Sharks away or Edinburgh away. They've got internationals, not similar to Cardiff, who are second best team in Wales, but everyone knows what's happening in Wales. The teams are not really up to it at some points during the season, especially with Cardiff. They've just been put on administration. So if you can't really put away a team, that is struggling, off the field, and maybe they've got their mind on other big things, in the scrums. What about when you're playing against the top dogs? So yeah, but we'll see if they can fix it. Another point of contention which came through in the second half mostly was a point around they let in a lot of turnovers. I think in the back end of the second half, in the last 15 minutes or so, they let in about 6 turnovers. 6. I mean, you had props, man, stealing the ball and putting pressure in the breakdown, and the Stormers didn't have a lot to say about that or counter that. Like I say, mentally, I think they had switched off a little bit, and they just wanted to get the game over and done with. But nonetheless, that needs to be, looked into. One interesting thing in the second half, which I didn't put on my notes, but just think about it, is that Sasha had an assist as well as a penalty in the last, 15-20 minutes that he was playing, and you can see the class of the man. Sasha FM, yeah, he's really stepping it up. Talking about Sasha, he came on for Mani, and Mani had, I would say, a very good game. Very good game in terms of what he was doing. The passing, the Mani's passing, man, oh man, he can fizz the ball. So yeah, he didn't look like he had been out for a long time, with injury and so forth. And just going back to what I was saying, in terms of on the previous video about Gelant, I think it's getting pretty set that I'll probably get what I want, which was Mani at 10, Sasha at 12, and Damian, who played 15, playing 15. And he also had a brilliant game until he got the red card. This thing about red cards, it's, I don't know, even rugby incidents, are getting judged heavily, man, heavily. If you see that red card, he's sort of drifting to go and cover the wing, but then he gets drawn in by, the that player, the Cardiff player. So he had to stop. Now, stop immediately because Zas wasn't getting to the player. So he had to stop and try and tackle that player. When he stops, they like hit each other because, I mean, they were like a meter or two apart. Do you have enough time to actually drop and actually put in a good tackle? I'm not sure. I mean, you guys can say it downstairs, in the comments. What do you think? If you saw the incident, do you think it was, fair that he got a red card? I know it was a shoulder to the head, but I'm not sure. I mean, physically, is it possible? That's the question that I'm asking. But nonetheless, he had a good game while he was on the field. So that is good to see, especially that he was back to, I would say, his best position. Better than floor half, better than 12, and 15 is his best position. So it's good to see him there. Hatzenburg is class. He got man of the match. I actually voted for the first time on man of the match. He got man of the match, and man, that man is class. I think he's having his 50th cap this game, so it was a big one for him, and he performed. And the nice thing about him is that he's performing on the wing, and naturally his position is 13. We have to see. I know that the 13 that played the game today, I can't remember his name. I'll put up his name. But the guy who came from the Lions, then he went to the Bulls, and then he came to the Stomers. He's leaving. Next season I think he's going to play in France. So maybe he's going to start getting game time. In his favorite position, which is 13, and I'm looking forward to that. I mean, he's got 50 caps, so he's experienced, largely playing in the wing. So let's see what he can produce in his favorite position. But mostly, all in all, what I can say is there was not a lot of cohesion during the game, but to be expected. Like I say, 10 changes made, and also the coach saying that they only just need 1 point. So I think they had achieved that with getting four tries. So but fixing turnovers and looking at the scrums would be good for them. So sort of like an iffy game. If you had to watch it, you'd probably say 5.5, 6 in terms of quality and entertainment. But that's what happened in DHL Stadium, and the Stomers are just gonna be waiting for who is confirmed that their opponents for quarterfinals between the Sharks and Edinburgh. That's it from me. I'll probably drop another sort of like feedback review. I don't like calling these reviews, but I'll probably do something tomorrow for the Sharks game and maybe. The other games as well, the Bulls and the Lions. I'm out. Thanks, man. Cheers.